Hello! In this video, I would like to talk to you about yoga. And whilst I do that, I thought I'd show you me doing some very easy, low effort yoga to kind of solidify the point that you don't have to be skinny, flexible, or strong to do yoga, because I am none of those things. Yoga is one of those things that whenever you're feeling bad, especially if it's with your brain, people are like, oh, have you tried yoga? And unfortunately, they're kind of right. Now, yoga is not going to cure your depression, but yoga might make your brain feel a little bit better, or at least it sometimes does for me. Once upon a time, on a especially productive January, I managed to do yoga every day for a month. I have yet to repeat the success of it, but I can attest that that month my head felt a lot better. I see yoga as kind of a gateway to doing mindfulness thinking or meditation or whatever you want to call it, when you're kind of forcing your brain to be in the here and now and not be thinking about all these things except what's going on and what your body's doing, because it's kind of hard to stress about your upcoming deadlines when you're also trying to balance on one leg or make sure that your abs aren't collapsing when you're doing the plank. The plank. I do find that kind of taking a moment to just let my brain be a brain and not try and use it to think lots of thoughts, and to try and focus on my breathing, check in with my body, because I tend to kind of forget what's going on there. Just check in, is anything strained, is anything hurting, is really good for me. I spend a lot of time planning and thinking and problem solving, and sometimes you just kind of need to take a breath. But it can be kind of hard to do that if you're just sitting down and trying to meditate, because there's nothing to focus on, and that's kind of the point, but also really hard. So I found that yoga is kind of a gateway into that mindset sometimes, where I'm just focusing on what is my body doing, how are these stretches making me feel, and how am I breathing. And to make this even easier, I like to look up some YouTube tutorials of how to do yoga so I don't have to think about what kind of poses I'm going to get into. And the person that kind of made me get into yoga is somebody called Yoga with Adriene. She has a really good approach to yoga. I think her mindset is all about finding what feels good and kind of checking in with your body and not trying to force yourself into positions that you can't do, not judging yourself about what you can do, but it's just about finding what feels good for your body in that specific moment and what it wants to do right now. And it's not about being flexible or trying to kind of getting this sort of gains or anything like that. It's just about having a moment where you're committing to being kind to yourself. And sometimes when you're not doing that good, just taking 5 minutes to do something that the only purpose of it is to be kind to yourself can really do a lot. It might not make you feel better, but at least you've accomplished one act of kindness, and that's kind of cool. I also often find that if I just do one stretch, usually I'll end up doing a couple more because I'm already doing it and it feels kind of good. So even if it's just doing a classic fold over, bend, I don't know the technical terms, or a single downward dog, usually I'm well, I'm already here, might as well do the cobra, and child's pose, and before you know it, you've done 10 minutes of stretching and suddenly your back and your shoulders are feeling a little bit better. Whilst I am definitely not somebody who is currently practicing yoga every day, I do try and find moments where I can to just do even just a few poses. The video that's playing next to me right now is just me going into my yard and putting down a mat and just kind of doing stretches and making it up as I go along. Just kind of seeing, okay, which part of my body would like to be stretched today? It's about checking in with yourself, doing something good for your joints and your muscles, and also just having fun with it, you know? When we were little, we did all sorts of crazy things with our bodies, and if you try, you'll probably be surprised with how many of those things your body can still do. I've recently started just doing a little bit of like forward and backwards rolls because it's kind of fun, you know? And it's just good to move your body, especially when we're sitting down a lot of the time. If you haven't tried yoga, or if you kind of tried it and you gave up on it, I would encourage you to just give it another try and take a very kind and mindful approach to it and just experiment, find what feels good, and enjoy the fact that you have a body that can do these movements. And that's pretty cool.